So this is really good feedback on right now. What's the Counter-Strike feedback? But any feedback. He's crying at the door. And it's, first of all, you have that first reaction, and you're going to get accustomed to it. You're going to grow. You're going to change. And you're also not going to express that again. So, like when you're just screaming, it's just not helpful. We would joke when we would do Left 4 Dead updates, because we did a lot of Left 4 Dead updates. We would first announce the update and release it in the morning, right? Because we wanted to be able to fix the patch. So we had to be there when we were there. And there'd be just reaction on the forums, would be all mad, and oh my God, you ruined the game, it's horrible. We ignored it. They hadn't played the game. And then the next time would be later in the evening when people actually played it. And people were like, oh, I get what this is doing, I get why you made this change, I understand this is pretty cool. Nice job. Or they'd still be mad about something. But it would always be with the like, oh, and then they're going to do a patch in a couple of weeks because this is how they do this. And that's how modern games are now, right? I mean, for my own game, the Anacrusis, we've done 50 updates. So when someone comes and throws the very first 0.0 review at me and go, your game sucks, I'm like, dude, we did 50 updates since then, man. It ain't the same game. Like, you can be mad at me for something, I don't know what. We had someone the other day who just stalked me in every single place he could communicate with me to yell at me about quitting Valve. It was really weird. Like, yeah, that's going to get me to listen to you. Like, some of the feedback is venting, right? Sometimes, like, I'm frustrated with Madden right now, how it corrupts the sound and does something weird. But clearly, searching online, it's more my computer interaction with it, probably, but I'm still aggravated. And, so I've actually posted some kind of, like, detailing it, and actually had somebody say, hey, I know somebody who works on that team. I'll pass this along. Yeah, that's me, but that's also you. If you give good feedback, like if somebody comes to our Discord and writes like a feedback, it doesn't have to be long. It could be short. It could be like, hey, how this system worked, I didn't understand, or whatever this, or blah, blah, blah. It's super helpful. We read it. If it is written in a reasonable tone, you can probably tell me I should shave my head bald, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to think about that. And that's the power of framing an argument correctly and being reasonable to the person that you're giving feedback to. So when you're just screaming, when you're just ranting, first of all, I get that. And sometimes, you know what, you got to do that because you got to get that out of you. But there you go, Boris. There you are. But other times, man, like, just think that's not going to really do anything helpful. And somehow you're attacking the devs that you loved all their other games from, but this is the one, right? I guess there is Artifact. Okay, but ignoring Artifact. Right, like, these are the devs that made the thing that you love. They love it too. They do. If you think you love a game, you don't know how much the devs love it, right? Like, I absolutely love Left 4 Dead. I can go back into that world every day. I love the Anacrusis. I could go back to that world every day. I do. Right, like, we love it as well, and we want it to be the best possible thing, and it pains us, especially when there's stuff that you go, we knew we were shipping a bug, and this is just how we had to do because we had to ship, right? You have to ship. You can't ship unless you ship. And then once you ship, you learn a whole bunch. And so you want to do this process with as many people as you can, with as few as you can, if that makes sense, because you're going to have problems. You're going to have bugs, right? But something like CSGO, and not Counter-Strike 2, it's this big giant thing, man. It's everywhere, but like there's a ton of people playing it, so it's getting a ton of feedback, and that is successful then. That is successful in that they're getting a bunch of feedback and they're learning a bunch about their game and, what they should be doing. So good on them. Yeah, and remember, and in a month you'll be complaining about skins and gambling, which you should complain about, or something else.